It is 4:17 in the morning when the lights disappear. Not the lights inside the house, the lights across the entire valley. A second later, the encrypted phone on the table vibrates once. They are inside the perimeter. You look through reinforced glass. One guard is no longer answering his radio. Another has switched off his phone. Somewhere below, your wife is waking the children. Beside you is a pistol you have not fired in 15 years. You control routes, warehouses, armed crews, politicians, and millions of dollars. But you do not know whether the men coming through the gate work for the government, a rival cartel, or your own second in command. For the first time, you understand the final rule of the organization. The higher you rise, the fewer people you can trust. But your life did not begin behind reinforced glass. It began beside a road. Level 1. The Lookout. You are 16, sitting beneath the faded awning of a repair shop. The plastic chair has one broken leg. Beside your shoe is a warm soda. In your hand is a cheap phone containing 3 numbers and no names. Your instructions are simple. Watch the road. A police patrol means one message. A military convoy means another. An unfamiliar SUV moving slowly through the neighborhood means you call immediately. You do not know what is inside the warehouse or who owns the trucks. For watching them, you earn enough to help your mother with groceries and replace your torn shoes. You tell them you work security. Technically, that is true. The organization recruits you with attention. Older men remember your name, buy you food, and call you reliable. For the first time, powerful people notice whether you show up. Then you make your first mistake. You are looking at your phone when 2 military vehicles pass the intersection. By the time you send the warning, men are already running from the warehouse. That evening, a man sits beside you. He takes the phone from your hand and shows you a photograph of another lookout who disappeared the previous month. Tomorrow, he says, you will pay closer attention. You could tell your mother, leave the neighborhood, or throw the phone away. Instead, you return to the chair the next morning. That is your first irreversible decision. Level 2. The Courier. After a year without another mistake, you are trusted with movement. A man meets you outside a bus station and hands you a backpack. You must leave it beneath a restaurant table in another city. You are given no name and told not to open it. The organization keeps everyone separated. The driver does not know the supplier, and the courier does not know the receiver. The small piece at risk is now you. At the terminal, 2 police officers walk between the passengers. The backpack rests between your shoes while one officer checks the man beside you. Then they move on. When you return home, an envelope is waiting. It contains more money than your father earned in a month. Soon, you are moving packages, cash, and people. Then, your cousin is arrested. Instead of sending a lawyer, the organization replaces him before sunset. Being useful gives you income. It does not give you protection. So when a supervisor offers you a position that appears to come with protection, you accept.
Level 3. The Enforcer. The first weapon they give you is old, scratched, and heavier than you expected. You are no longer moving the organization's property. You are protecting its authority. At first, you guard warehouses and stand beside collectors. You do not need to speak. The weapon speaks for you. People who once ignored you now lower their eyes. Fear begins to feel like respect. Then a nightclub owner refuses to pay. Your crew visits after closing. 2 men destroy his office while he begs for another week. One of them hands you a metal bar. This is not about the money. It is a test. If you refuse, you are weak. If you hesitate, you are unreliable. If you obey, the organization learns that you can be ordered across a line you cannot uncross. You lift the bar. Afterward, the owner pays. You lie about your swollen hands, avoid old friends, and sleep with the weapon beneath your bed.
A few months later, another enforcer disappears after being accused of talking to the police. Nobody shows you evidence. His disappearance becomes the evidence. You learn the central rule of loyalty. Suspicion is sometimes enough.
Level 4. The crew leader. By 24, you command 6 lookouts, 3 couriers, and several armed men. Above you is a supervisor who expects a fixed amount of money every week. Every mistake below you becomes your problem. Every demand above you becomes your deadline. Then part of a shipment disappears. 4 men had access to it. All 4 deny taking anything. Your supervisor gives you until midnight to identify the thief. You question them for hours. One has a newborn daughter. Another joined only 3 weeks ago. You find no proof against anyone. At 11:53, your supervisor calls. He does not ask whether you found the thief. He asks for a name. You say you need more time. He says that if you cannot choose one person, he will remove the entire crew.
So you name the newest courier. He disappears before sunrise. A week later, the missing product is recovered from a warehouse controlled by another crew. The man you sacrificed had stolen nothing. You consider confronting your supervisor. Instead, you remain silent. At the lower ranks, you were tested. Now you decide who gets sacrificed when the organization needs an answer. Leadership has not brought independence. It has made you responsible for decisions created by men you never see. Still, the envelopes grow thicker. When you are offered control of logistics for the territory, the money is too large to refuse.
Level 5. The logistics operator. Now you finally see the machine. Not all of it. Nobody sees all of it. But enough. You sit in a warehouse office surrounded by maps, shipping schedules, vehicle registrations, and coded payments. Separate networks acquire, move, and store the product, while others return the money. Financial specialists disguise the proceeds, and corrupt contacts make inspections less aggressive. You no longer cross checkpoints yourself. You manage the people who manage those details. Success means shipments arriving, cash returning, and arrests stopping below you. For the first time, you earn enough to imagine leaving. You purchase land through a relative and open a legitimate trucking company. After 2 more years, you tell yourself, you will disappear into the legal business. Then a major load is seized. Its value is greater than everything you own. The organization does not accept bad luck as an explanation. Someone must have talked.
Someone must pay. You have no proof, only 3 possible names. One is your oldest friend, the same boy who once watched the road beside you. For 2 days, you search for another explanation. On the 3rd, your supervisor sends you a photograph of your wife leaving a grocery store. No threat is written beneath it. None is necessary. You give them your friend's name. This time you know exactly what will happen. You give the name anyway. You expect the guilt to make you leave. Instead, it creates another trap. You have paid too high a price to walk away with nothing to show for it. 2 years becomes 3. The company needs another vehicle. The land needs 1 more payment. You repeat the same promise you made before carrying the backpack onto the bus. Just this next amount. Then you will stop.
The amount is never the last amount. That is how the organization keeps valuable people. Not only with threats, with arithmetic.
Level 6. The Plaza Operator. Your reward is a territory. A plaza is a strategic zone, a border crossing, port, highway corridor, or city through which valuable traffic must pass. Every crew inside it reports upward to you. Your job is to keep the system profitable without allowing any single part to become powerful enough to challenge you. You meet officials through intermediaries. Some accept money, others accept favors. A few refuse both. But the state is divided. A local officer may cooperate while a federal unit investigates him. and a useful customs contact can disappear with one transfer. Corruption buys uncertainty. It does not buy permanent safety. Soon, surveillance teams appear near your properties. An accountant vanishes, and a rival organization begins testing your territory. You are fighting the government, your rivals, and ambition inside your own organization. You prepare an exit plan. The trucking company is profitable. Your family has travel documents.
A lawyer believes he can move part of your wealth abroad. Then the man above you is arrested, creating a vacancy. For one brief moment, escape is possible. But walking away now would not look like retirement. It would look like fear. Rivals would see weakness. Your own organization would wonder whether you planned to cooperate. So you accept the promotion. Not because you need the money, because you no longer believe you can survive being seen as someone who needed to leave.
Level 7. The Regional Commander. You control multiple plazas now. Street-level names arrive inside reports beside one word: arrested, missing, unreliable, replaced. Your world has become cleaner as the consequences have become larger. You resolve disputes between plaza operators, distribute people and money, and manage alliances that can collapse over one unpaid debt or one ambitious lieutenant. Your authority is enormous. It is never complete.
You can close roads across a region, but cannot walk through your childhood neighborhood. You can decide the future of hundreds, yet cannot attend your daughter's birthday. You own 5 houses and sleep in none for more than 3 nights. This is the golden cage. A restaurant meal requires planning. A doctor's appointment requires a false name. Love creates hostages. Friendship creates informants. Routine creates patterns. Then, someone offers you a real way out. A federal intermediary reaches you through a lawyer. The offer includes a new identity, relocation for your wife and children, and protection in exchange for testimony. For 3 days, you consider it. Then you count the people the offer does not protect.
Your wife's parents, your cousins, and the mechanic who changes your vehicles. Protection can hide your immediate family. It cannot hide everyone your name touches. You realize you stopped being a man with an exit years ago. You became a hostage to your own network. You reject the offer and never tell your wife it existed. That night, she asks when the life will finally become safe. You tell her, soon. You have been saying that for 14 years. Then the leader calls. He wants to discuss succession.
Level 8. The Boss. You do not become the boss because everyone agrees. You become the boss because enough of the people who disagree are dead, imprisoned, missing, or afraid. The organization stretches across borders. Reports, money, and violence move through layers of people who may never hear your real voice. You possess more power than you imagined while sitting on the plastic chair outside the repair shop. But power has not removed danger. It has multiplied its sources. Governments offer rewards for your capture. Rivals bribe your guards. Younger commanders study your habits, waiting for your position. Every profitable route attracts competition. Every loyal lieutenant becomes more capable of replacing you. You no longer ask whether someone will betray you. You ask who will betray you first. Then, at 4:17 in the morning, the lights across the valley disappear. The phone vibrates. They are inside the perimeter. You take the pistol from the table. Your wife is waiting with the children near the reinforced door. Outside, engines approach the house. Your head of security still does not answer. An explosion tears open the outer gate. You lead your family toward the underground exit, but the security door is already unlocked. Someone opened it from inside. Your second-in-command stands at the far end. Behind him are armed men wearing no visible insignia.
He does not look angry. He looks relieved.
The same way your first supervisor looked when another lookout was available to replace you. Your second in command steps aside. Only then do the men behind him move into the light. Federal officers. He has traded you for protection, a reduced sentence, and the chance to inherit what remains. You consider raising the pistol. Then, you see your children behind you. For the first time in decades, you put the weapon down. Your reign ends before sunrise.
Months later, a judge sentences you to life in a secure federal prison. The door closes behind you. Concrete walls, a steel bed, a narrow window positioned too high to see through. For years, you wanted to reach the room where every decision was made. Now, you live in a room where you make none. Outside, your second in command takes your seat. A relative challenges him, and alliances fracture and reform. The roots do not vanish. The money does not stop. And beside a road in another poor neighborhood, a teenager sits beneath a faded awning with a cheap phone in his hand. A convoy approaches. He sends the warning on time.